All right. In the Alex Murdaugh case, we now had at trial today, the prosecution say, and this is another huge thing. What? Cell phone video played for the jury that they say places Murdaugh at the scene of the crime, the family's dog kennel, just minutes before his wife and son were shot to death. Remember, the question isn't, was Alex Murdaugh there that night? He called it in. It's when. This is what was played in court.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth. Bubba.
Hey, Bubba.
It's a guinea.
This is a chicken.
Come here, Bubba.
Come here, Cash.
Come here, Bubba.
Cash. Quit.
Why do we care? Alec claims the last time he saw his wife and son alive was around 8:15 p.m. When was that video taken? 8:44 p.m. Why does that matter? Well, not only is it just different, because that could just be about, I wasn't that accurate with the time, 8:44 p.m. puts you minutes before where authorities believe the murder happened. Close witnesses to the family testified today that they're 100% positive that they hear Alex's voice in the background, which is obviously relevant if you want to see that this video is proof of his presence. So, does it wash with the experts? Will it wash with the jury? High-profile criminal defense attorney Mark Geragos, attorney Eric Bland, host of the new podcast Cup of Justice. Only one rule tonight: I do not care that Geragos is friends with Hart Putlian. He is not part of the case any more than you are, Bland. Both of you may know people. Bland, certainly you represent people who are inimical to the cause of Murdaugh, and rightly so. I don't care. Let's just talk what we see and why it matters. So I'll start with you, Counselor Bland. Why do you believe this video matters?
Well, it was an absolute pre-Groundhog Day bombshell. I thought the prosecution today, and I'm not getting the motive because I agree with you that it's a problem, but today they used Paul's two best friends to box Alex in and 100% say he was at the murder scene 6 minutes before. Then they used his friend to say, there's a Snapchat video that I got at 7:45, and that Alex was wearing a shirt and pants and shoes. That's very important, Chris, because you know that when he was in the interview after he called in the murder, he was wearing a t-shirt and shorts. So the question's going to come, is the prosecution going to put on a sled witness to say, did you find those clothes when you went and executed the search warrant? And finally, there were two more things that were bombshells. He put the friend on to show that there was one of the 300 blackouts that was cited by Paul and the friend in April 2021 before the murder, and that weapon is not one of the weapons that was found in the house. And finally, the motive started because when we ended the day, Creighton Wooders, the prosecutor, asked one of the friends, do you know about Alex stealing $950,000 from the clients? Do you know about the pressure that he was under from the Mallory Beach case? Do you know about the financial hearing that was coming up where he was going to have to turn over the information? And the witness said no. And that was very important because now, tomorrow morning, the judge is going to hold a hearing outside the jury to determine if the financial crimes come in and whether I testify.
All right, this is what the judge had promised, that let's let the witness present it, then we'll argue it in real time. So that's what's going to happen. Let's take them in reverse order. Counselor Geragos, what is your case on whether or not it should be relevant and probative versus too prejudiced in this case to have Murdaugh's other financial travails introduced?
Well, look, it's already been introduced. I know that this, His Honor believes that you introduce it first and rule on it later. That's contrary to most of my experience with evidence. Generally, you do a motion in limine, which means you hold it in abeyance. The judge decides, and then you go there. You know, it's interesting, in a trial in L.A. just 2 days ago, or Friday, somebody played something that had been ruled out, and they had to declare a mistrial. So I would not, I wouldn't say to this judge that this is the smartest approach. Number two, one of the things that Eric just said that's important is it ended with the prosecutor asking questions. We haven't heard the cross yet. So before we characterize something as a bombshell or this or that, I can't tell you the thousands of times I've had evidence that seemingly when the prosecution puts it on seems to be important, and then you get up and you do the cross and it turns out, it didn't play like we thought it would. And how is that important here? I will tell you, most people between when they get home and that evening will change. I know this is a news flash, but most people do not stay in the same clothes once they get home.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.